If you got the key, put it in your location, boom, it's good to go. Oh man, it's available in 2-player mode. Let's play a game real quick. Oh, this is like that old, what's that game? Leave a comment if you know what game I'm talking about. Damn. Damn, that's dope. Do you hear this? It's got that Home Alone music. We got the Tesla again. Tesla road trips. Am I smart or am I dumb? I don't know. I'm not the only one who's on a Tesla though on these road trips. Sometimes you'll be riding out here and you'll see somebody else riding by, and then they'll wave at you and say, "Hey."
I don't know where I stand on it because it's so different to anything else I've ever driven or reviewed.
The charging was so quick and easy, minus stations. When we found the right station.
Yeah.
It's so fast.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome back everybody out there in YouTube world. And if you are someone who is looking for a Tesla and you think maybe it's out of reach, it's completely unaffordable, and you think it's all negatives, no positives, or maybe you've never even driven in one, never been in one, you think it's just completely out of reach, let me tell you that the Teslas are actually more attainable, more affordable, and more practical than you might think. Now, trigger warning. That means you, Karen. You can actually get a Tesla Model 3, S, and if you really look, an X for the same price or cheaper than Honda Civic, Toyota Corolla, Honda CR-V, and so many other vehicles that a lot of people get. A lot of vehicles that are really old, and a lot of people don't even realize that you can get a Tesla and not have to pay any more money in fuel. Like, think about that. Imagine if you bought your pre-owned vehicle and it came with a gas card to Chevron, unlimited. So every time you need gas, you just go to that gas station, just fill up. Now, a lot of other vehicles don't come with that, but that's something special with a pre-owned Tesla. Everyone's looking at new Teslas. There's some people that new is okay for, it's no problem. And there's some people that probably should be more looking for a pre-owned one. All right, now I'm gonna give you the reasons why. New vehicles, of course, I've bought a new vehicle in the past and I regretted it years later. I was like, oh man, I should have never done that, because the depreciation of the value, as soon as, everyone says, as soon as you drive off the lot, that's real. And plus you're gonna have a way higher payment versus if you just get one pre-owned, you can save so much more money. A lot of these vehicles, they come with warranty still on them. And the biggest thing that people are concerned about is longevity, how long it's gonna last, And I'm actually gonna show you some different examples of prices of these vehicles. Now, first off, unlimited supercharging, all right? A lot of these Teslas come with unlimited supercharging, but this is a feature that's only available on the previous owned one, so pre-owned one, used ones. They don't really necessarily have them for the new ones unless it's like a special incentive, kind of special deal, special kind of offer or something like that. So only way you're going to really be able to get that is if you get one from a pre-owned one where someone purchased an older one and they purchased that, they paid that extra fee to have the unlimited supercharging. That unlimited supercharging is actually grandfathered over. All right, so whoever buys it, so the entire life of the vehicle, as long as that vehicle exists with that VIN number, when you plug it up to a supercharger, they're not charging you. It's completely free. So when you buy it from someone else and they sign a title over to you, you now get the free supercharging. How beneficial is that? Now, if you're able to get one for $15,000 to $20,000, right? I'm talking to the people who are looking at pre-owned vehicles under 30K anyway, but they would love to have a Tesla. So many people would love to have a Tesla, but they think they can't afford it. Well, let me tell you, as long as you don't live in the middle of Hicksville, in the middle of nowhere, in some barren place, or if you're not on the East Coast where a car just sits in your driveway and it just turns into a pile of rust, buying a pre-owned Tesla is actually a pretty good idea. That means whenever you want to take a road trip, you want to travel somewhere, you want to go somewhere, whatever it is, you go there and you're charging completely for free for free. Now, the good thing about this, you can get it so much cheaper than buying it brand new, you know, like the Model S, you know, when they're brand new.
The 3 and the Y still have this set up, but for the S, this one's optioned with the yoke. And I believe when you get the yoke, there's no more of that stick right there no more.
Some of them are $70, $80, $100,000. So if you're able to get one a little bit older, you know, a lot of people are looking at vehicles that are 8, 6, 10 years older anyway when they're shopping for a pre-owned vehicle. So if you're someone who is looking for a pre-owned vehicle, but you also wanted a Tesla, but you think you can afford it, this is a good option for you, because those vehicles depreciate in value because a lot of it's based off the client's perception of the vehicle. Like a Lamborghini. Your perception of a Lamborghini, even though it has high maintenance issues and stuff, your perception of the value of a Lamborghini exceeds what it would actually cost to maintain it. If you see a Lamborghini Huracan for sale for $30,000, you wouldn't even care about $130K because the value's there. Tesla doesn't have that because they only came out like mid 2000s or something, 2010, 12 or something like that. That's when you first started getting those Model S's, and, you know, followed by the Model X, then the 3 and the Y. All that said, you can actually get one of these vehicles if you're willing to put the fear behind you. That's the reason why their value is so low. And as someone who's driven quite a few of them for quite some time, if you can get one for 15, 20K, I think it'd be better than some of these other vehicles that you can get for 15, 20K, especially if you can get one with unlimited supercharging, because you buy it and you can travel the country for free. Sometimes you buy an older car trying to save money, and then you got to go get a new motor. The motor you buy is used, and then it just has more issues. Versus if you had to do that with Teslas, it's almost like if you had to buy a new battery, it's like almost like the cost of like having like buy a new engine. If you're buying a used Hellcat, buying another Hellcat engine is going to be way more expensive than just getting your battery serviced at the Tesla place, you know, or getting a battery replaced or something like that. Because one little small thing, there's so many more working parts in a vehicle on a combustion engine that one little thing could go wrong and you could be sitting there on the side of the road waiting, you know. Same thing could happen with a Tesla as well. But what I'm saying is your money can go so much further with a Tesla. Tesla, the electric motor, they can spin at such much higher RPM than what they're doing when you're driving around regularly. The amount of moving parts inside of an electric motor for a Tesla is minimal compared to a combustion engine. You got so many things: headers, pistons rings, you got fuel injectors, fuel filters, fuel pumps, you got transmission, oil filters, oil pumps. You got so many things going on inside of there that are all moving. If one little piece gets bent, that little push rod gets bent, well, the whole thing, you can't do nothing with that. You can't do nothing with it. And then the RPMs on these vehicles, they stop at 6, 7 RPM. That's the red zone. Versus these electric motors, they may only go 6,000 RPM, but they can go 20. You know, that's just an exaggerated example. They can really go way higher. Electric magnetic technology has been around since beginning when the electric motors were out. It's just now it's more mainstream. Imagine that, driving in your vehicle and not having to smell all that combustion smell all in there. Driving around completely silent.
I'm gonna let you hear this acceleration test just so you can hear. See, the only thing you hear is wind. You can't even tell that I just accelerated to X miles per hour. Electric cars skipped like normal drivability. They went from, like, you know, most cars having 260, 300 horsepower and foot-pounds of torque. And when electric cars came out, they was like, forget that, 600, 1,000, 1,200. Like the new Hummer. Like, are you serious? Like, you need 1,000 horsepower? Like, oh yeah, it's got 1,000 horsepower in every wheel. Damn, 4,000 foot-pounds of torque. Jeez, I know I'm exaggerating.
Have you ever heard only the sound of the road, or just the sound of your tires hitting the pavement? A lot of you haven't. A lot of people have a fear of vehicles like Tesla because, one, they've never been in it, They've never driven in one. They don't know anyone who has one. And all they hear is all the negative news about Tesla. This happening, that happening. Well, let me tell you this. All that negative stuff that happens with these vehicles, it happens with every brand of vehicle. The only thing is it's not in the news, the mainstream news, the way Tesla is, because Tesla is a shining light these days. You know, it's like Tesla's that company. And I don't like Tesla because of Elon Musk. And don't buy Tesla because of Elon Musk. Elon has nothing to do with it. Get the product because the product is good. It's an American made product. Most people who have never driven a Tesla, once they finally drive one, it's an experience. It's like, oh man, I think I'm addicted now. There's been plenty of people, plenty of YouTubers who hated Tesla. It's like, oh man, I want nothing to do with no Tesla. They'd be the first one to say, oh, Hellcats only. Tall guy car reviews. And when they finally get into a Tesla, they're like, man, I didn't even know. It's just a certain level of luxury, riding in silence, riding with no smell, that full glass roof. You got a big old iPad basically for a digital display, and it's super responsive.
Oh, this is like that old, what's that game? Leave a comment if you know what game I'm talking about. It's like that old Super Nintendo game or old Sega, maybe even Atari game, where you're like, oh, I clearly sucked at that game back in the day. It said nice, but I just died. Oh, it pauses. That's dope. You take your finger off and they're like, hold on, buddy, we don't want you to just die. Because they know you got distraction. Now watch out for them bullets. You want to have your fire and there's sound.
It's super simplistic inside there. It's kind of a good thing that there's no buttons or anything. It's just such a groundbreaking, revolutionary, original vehicle. A lot of vehicles out there, it costs way more, don't have what it has, you know. And sometimes the only way you can get some of the stuff that comes in those vehicles is by buying a brand new regular vehicle. It's only now the brand new combustion vehicles have this self-driving features. That's only on the brand new ones, and those ones are so expensive. You could buy a pre-owned Tesla much more affordable. Let me show you right now. Let me get my phone. So like I said, unless you live somewhere like bum F, middle of nowhere, or East Coast, where your car sits in your driveway and it turns into a pile of rust. If you live in a state like Arizona, like I do, that's a perfect place to buy a pre-owned vehicle. Arizona, New Mexico, California, you can get these vehicles for cheap. And the Tesla infrastructure is everywhere. So look on OfferUp or eBay. Have that, buy it from a place where they're cheap and then have it shipped to you. You know, in theory, if you have solar panels, you can still have free charging, right? Not free supercharging, but it's free charging, right?
It's kind of like it takes all the planning out of your trip for you. So all you got, if you're wondering if you can go to a certain place, just go to Tesla.com and check on the supercharger section and click routing your trip. You'll be able to tell if you can go to that place. It'll tell you if there's superchargers on the way there.
Porsche Taycan is cooler. It looks nicer in there. There's actual buttons in there. It looks like a normal car inside. The seats are dope. But a Porsche Taycan or an Audi e-tron GT is like 4 times the price of a Tesla. Yeah, you get 2 speeds and all that other stuff, but it costs way more. And they don't have the infrastructure. So people who get those cars, most of them are not doing road trips in them. You know, they're going to be charging it at home, or you're going to be using those other little electric cars, the little off-brand one that's not the big name brand one. Tesla Supercharging. You know, Tesla Supercharger was the original one. And if you look on your phone, like say if you got Apple Maps like me, you can type in Tesla Supercharger and you can show you all of them around the whole country. Pull up Tesla Supercharger right now and you can see them all in Arizona. I can zoom out and show the whole country and we can see how many Tesla Superchargers. Oh man, they got them in South America too. Okay, but here we go. Let's just keep it Arizona, California. Literally, they're all over the place. You can check out my video that I did where I did a road trip from Arizona all the way to Clear Lake, California, which is north of San Francisco. And it's like a really kind of like almost not really rural area.
A lot of people think that in order to do these Teslas drives, you have to be in a city area only. I'm actually in a very rural area. I drove all the way to Clear Lake, California. This is 800
800 plus mile drive here, and a lot of windy roads and stuff like that, lots of hills. With that in mind, it was still a pretty good drive. The vehicle drives pretty smoothly. There's not superchargers out there, but I was able to charge at the nearest supercharger and then make it there, explore the area, and then make it back to the next supercharger. And no problem. You can plan out your trip ahead of time. You may have to wait, what, 10, 20, 30 minutes to charge sometimes, but that's not all the time. Because when you're charging for 30 minutes, that's just if you want to get all your charging done. If you want to fill the battery up so then you don't have to stop no more. Usually, the way the Tesla charger works, you get the highest kilowatts at the beginning. We made it, and we're the only chargers here, so we're going to get all the power to ourselves, mate. We're going to have all the power, mate. All the power to ourselves, mate. Woo-hoo. Because electric cars, all these chargers, they all share this one or these three boxes right here. This is where the power is converted and all that stuff from the main grid to the things. You know, so if there's more cars, and you gotta charge and share with more people. But if it's just you, then, you know, that's more power for you. This little thing right here, when it's blue, it means nothing going on. But when you plug it up, it's gonna transition, give it a couple seconds, and it turns green. And when it turns green, that means it's charging. You know, right now it's probably syncing up the information, all that stuff. You saw how it turned green right there. So now you hear this humming noise. You know, so you get the most power. It'll charge up from like a low percentage to like about 70%, you know, within just a few minutes. And then the kilowatts go in like to half of that. It goes from like maybe like 250 kilowatts, and then it'll go down to 150. But think of it, when you're on a road trip, are you necessarily just gonna hop out, get your gas, and hop back right in? No, because most people, your butt hurts, you need to stretch or something, you got kids, you gotta change diapers, you gotta get some food and anything. So having a charger to stop your vehicle, that's perfect. You're gonna be sitting there anyway. I understand how anyone could just hop right back on the road after being on the road for so long. Like, I think being forced to get out of the car stretch is a good thing, because I'd probably be a lot sore if I never had a chance to even get out, like just do these weird stretches and stuff. And plus the Tesla superchargers aren't crowded like the gas station is. Like when you're on a road trip, you pull up that one gas station, you've got so many cars there because everyone's traveling, everyone's using that gas station. But they also have superchargers that are paired with the gas station. So you pull up to the gas station, there's the gas station, and then around back is the supercharging. You'll see a few Teslas there. So if you're one of the few people who actually live in an area where it seems like there's a Tesla charger in the middle of nowhere, you will basically have these charges all to your damn self if you actually live here.
I have no conclusions about this car yet. None
This is
whatsoever.
taking a minute.
I don't know where I stand on it, because it's so different to anything else I've ever driven or reviewed.
The charging was so quick and easy, minus stations. When we found the right station.
Yeah.
It's so fast.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna show you what the prices of some of these vehicles are here in Arizona. Now, Teslas, I'm looking at them all the time on here. You can see, like, here's a brand newish 2023 Model X for $62,000. Now, that's not what you're gonna be wanting, right? Now let me show you the one that you would actually possibly get, right? Here's one. This one's already been sold because, you know, they're probably like me and they got a good eye for a good deal. Now, look at this. $23,000 for a Tesla Model X. It's got the back doors that lift up. That's the only Tesla that does that. The X is basically the big SUV version of the S. Now, a lot of people don't know that the X has 6 seats. All the seats are comfortable, dope seats. It's not like a Chevy Tahoe where you hop inside there and it's like the cheap seats are in the back and only the good seats are right in the front, unless you get that brand new $80,000 one. And I'm gonna read the description. This one, free unlimited supercharging for life. Yeah, this is one of those ones, and this is one of the only X's I found for this price. This is one of those rare examples, but a more common example would be like a Model S for $20K, 15K, 16. It just depends on how old or new of one you want. If you want like a 2014, I've seen those for 14K with unlimited supercharging. That's the thing. That's the reason you're getting it, because the unlimited supercharging. We've owned this Tesla for over 5 years and it's been an excellent vehicle. This is the P90 model. P90, that's one of the top ones. It's not the Plaid, but you know, you don't need Plaid. This is all-wheel drive. It's already good. Right now, it can go 0 to 60 in just 2.9 seconds. That's better than the new M3 competition I drove last year. I got a review of that one. You can check it out if you want to. And it's incredibly and fast and has proven to be very reliable. One of the standout features of this car is being one of Tesla's early models. It still comes with free supercharging for life. A great benefit whether you're using it for Uber or just driving around town. Yeah, that's right. You could turn this into an Uber vehicle. If you want an investment, you could buy one of these vehicles, not even drive it, or you can put it up on Turo. Turo is a stream where the first time I ever drove a Tesla, and that's what my first car review was, because I rented it on Turo. I wanted to drive a Tesla. I don't know anybody who had a Tesla. I wanted to drive it, and then I found out firsthand that the experience is so.
I want to know if you can put some people up in here. Let me see if I fit up in this dang thing, man. Alright, it works, man. You close it, man. Hold on, man. Look at these wheels, man. They look like they might be some Porsche. They look like, I don't know if that's 4-piston or just 2.
The battery is in good condition, offering around 205 miles of full range. Hold on, stop right there. Now you're thinking it's only 200 miles, but think you're not having to pay for gas. But if you're not doing long distance, 205 miles is plenty for around where you're going. I'm gonna finish reading the rest of it. The car currently has 137,000 miles, which may seem high, but Tesla's electric motors are designed to last up to 1,000,000 miles. Regular vehicles, if you take really good car and you pick the perfect car, it may last 300, 400, 500,000, maybe a million if you get like a special Toyota or something like that. But most vehicles, especially these newer vehicles, you're going to be in the shop before you even hit 10,000 miles. I'm telling you, I used to work at the Chrysler Dodge Ram dealership, and there were people bringing in brand new vehicles. And I just bought this vehicle and it's got issues, and they're bringing it in because something's wrong with the engine not doing this special thing that they're supposed to be doing with the new motor, because they're trying to save gas and give it power and fuel efficiency at the same time. And it's just issues. Versus electric motors have been around since almost 100 years. The electric motor works so simply. You know, gasoline motors, you got so many parts to worry about. Transmission, all the gear pieces inside there, piston, connecting rods, piston rings, valves, valve covers, springs, push rods, injectors. That's just to name a few. There's 1,000 more literally moving parts. So many different moving parts where, like, if one part gets bent, the whole system fails. So everything is, you got to make sure you get a good used vehicle. Otherwise, you're just going to be right in the shop spending that money. You know, so 1,000,000 miles, so has plenty left. While it's been a few accidents, all repairs done professionally, tires clear, not salvaged. Additionally, the car comes with some features like aftermarket wheels, blacker rims, giving it basically. This Model X is one of the more expensive versions of the pre-owned Teslas with free supercharging. It's the best deal on an X I've found, but if you wanted an older S around the same year, maybe 2014, 2016, you can get those like about between $15,000 and $20,000 easy. You know, especially if you're getting one from Arizona, New Mexico, or California, it's gonna be a really good deal. Like I said, as long as you don't get one from bum F in the middle of nowhere somewhere, you know, they're not gonna have that extra cost because you're paying for the rarity of the vehicle. Versus like somewhere where Teslas are all over the place, you can get them pretty cheap. So look on OfferUp or eBay. Buy it from a place where they're cheap and then have it shipped to you. You know, in theory, if you have solar panels, you can still have free charging, right? not free supercharging, but it's free charging, right? Now I want to go over the special features that only Teslas have, right? Compared to other vehicles. First off, you get that full glass roof. I know there's other vehicles in the past with concepts and stuff. Vehicles with glass roofs has been out for a long time, but never a mainstream vehicle with a completely glass roof like that.
I'd rather have the whole thing be glass than just only having like a little moonroof. Having a see-through roof is beneficial and expected in electric cars. I want you to take a second and appreciate this glass right here. This is all glass right here. A giant piece of semi-arched glass that is beautiful and tinted. So when the sun is shining above you, it doesn't blind your eyes.
Another feature, the interior, that screen, that giant iPad.
Now for control, you see there's, you know, mirrors, steering, all this other stuff. That's like the main stuff. And then you can come in here for your pedals. You see everything that changes: sport, acceleration. My acceleration set to insane.
It's like, it's so responsive and good and clear and bright. It's just, it's a great feature. And the simplicity of the interior, the lack of buttons.
Like, I like how clean this is. Like the clean inside part of this.
Very simplistic.
Very simplistic. Like there's like nothing going on in here basically. You got a couple buttons.
Now if you compare it to like a Porsche Taycan, Audi e-tron GT, I've done a review of both of those vehicles, and like I say, those vehicles are definitely superior. They basically took everything that Tesla is lacking and put it into one car. It's got 2 gears. It's got nice seats inside there. Still with the glass roof, but you got like cooler wheels, you know, you got actual buttons inside there, cooler steering wheel, Alcantara all over the place and stuff like that. But I tell you what, it costs almost 4 times the price of a Tesla. And if you're shopping for a pre-owned vehicle, you're definitely not going to be looking for a Porsche. There's other vehicles out there that are better than Tesla, but Tesla has this level of practicality to it that a lot of the other brands don't have. There's no Porsche supercharger, you know, there's no Chevy supercharger, there's no Ford supercharger. You know, it's just, they got the other brand that all the other vehicles use for superchargers, and then you got Tesla superchargers, right? So it's like Tesla has its own brand, you know, Tesla has, and there's more of them. They have the infrastructure that goes across the whole country, not even just the whole country. There's different countries, all right? So you can take your vehicle from here and drive it freaking Mexico, drive it anywhere with where there's superchargers. Electric vehicles didn't start to be a more common thing until Tesla came out. The Ford Lightning was always just supercharged Ford F-150, and now the Ford Lightning isn't the Ford Lightning anymore. That's why I did my review of the Ford Lightning. I was like, this isn't the Ford, it's not living up to the Ford Lightning name. They needed to call this the electric Ford F-150, you know, the Ford F-150 Spark. The Ford Lightning is cool. The new Ford Lightning sucks. It's a real disappointment. There's a lot of buttons and big screen, but I mean, Tesla's got the simplicity down, you know. And then when you go inside, some of them have that nice white marshmallow seats inside there. That's nice. I mean, you never seen that before unless someone just did like a custom car where they made the interior white, you know.
The interior is traditional Tesla style, you know, it's just all white in throughout the whole thing, you know. So it means white seats, white on the dash, white on the doors, white on the roof with the glass.
But as far as like a regular person vehicle, non-luxury vehicle, Tesla did it first. Another thing is the button places. Some of the only buttons are on the steering wheel. You know, like your audio control and stuff like that, selecting little modes and stuff like that. It's just these 2 little knobs on the steering wheel.
This is what I was talking about when I say you gotta, if you want to use the blinker. So if I push left here, it shows left right there. And you can see it on the car. Or if I push right, or if you want to just cancel it, push it again. Because obviously, I'm still going straight, but I just wanted to show you.
Tesla's one of the only brands where the screen in the back is like actually, you can watch YouTube and other stuff on that.
So I thought this would be cool for you to see. You open the door, you have to just touch it, and it opens like that. It pops out like that. I think that is dope. For the people in the back, and it's actually fully touchscreen. Like you can see, like it's not like how would you expect, like how the front screen is. It's a little bit different. It's like more like choose what you want to do kind of thing. But it's cool. Just a heater for each seat. You can change your music. I don't know if you want to Cardi B, but that's cool. And Netflix, Hulu, Disney, what else? Twitch. Back here, that's cool. And climate control. So it's so much more than just climate control like you see on other ones. It's almost like there's a TV in the back. So like I said, kids should be sitting in the back, Kids should be enjoying that in the back because nobody else gonna want to do that.
You're not gonna get that on a Jeep unless you spend $100K. The brand new Jeep Grand Cherokee does not, even if you get the top one, does not come with a full screen in the back to watch YouTube on the back. You're gonna have to go to some custom place to get them seats, them headrests, and put some screens in the back or something like that. Other than that, you got screens in the front. It's just like, you're not gonna get stuff that's on these old Teslas, on these regular cars, unless you buy their brand new, not budget friendly, really expensive ones. You know, they're like talking 60, 70, 80, 100K. Easy. It's more reliable and affordable than you think. So if you're someone who is looking for a Tesla, pre-owned, and you're on a budget, you know, you want a Tesla, but you think you can't get it, you can. Look on OfferUp or eBay. So I hope this message has been helpful for you guys. If you like it, like it. If you don't like it. Leave a comment down below on what your thoughts of the vehicle is.
Trust me, you can feel the acceleration. I'd say that acceleration is mostly useful in times where like you're like in extreme traffic, like say like if you got to get out of there, like if like these two semi trucks are just barreling in on just, you're like in this little tiny little car, you got to get out of there. That's one thing that the benefits of the Tesla Model Y, Model 3, Model S, or pretty much most electric cars, unless you got like a Prius or something. All right, let's get on out of here. Get your key. Put it right here. See how it says that right there? Make sure you put your key there. Right there. Unless you actually own the car, then you can like use your phone. But more than likely, if you're just doing a test drive like me, you have the key. Or when I do rentals on Turo, you get a key like this as well. Or you can actually, Turo has a thing where you can use the app on your phone. You can unlock the car with your app. Hit me up, Turo. All right, so to go, like I said, now it's nice, you can actually see it. See, you got your seat belts, mirror, everything check. Make sure you do your checklist before you go in a new car you're not used to.
And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.